It is so weird. I just made a videotape defending someone, and everything was, it didn't save in the file format that it should have been saved. So I'm doing it all over again. All right. So I told you when I was younger, one of the neighbors by the name of Glenn had took a knife when my parents wasn't home and told me we'd play a game. Long story short, he nicked me with the knife. All right. He attacked me. The neighbor, instead of breaking it up, took pictures of it, and it was being distributed as child pornography. All right. One of the persons who bought the pictures goes by the name of Lawrence Maharaj. All right. The reason I'm making this clear is because a lot of people make mistakes and whatnot on people. Now, I don't know if this particular lady has any relations with this particular person because her biological surname is Maraj as well. So she goes by the name of Onika Tanya Maraj. Ironically, when I was younger, Tanya was one of my nicknames. All right. That reminds me, I have to write it down. Tanya was one of my pseudonyms that I use. So a lot of people would think that probably Niki is me. I'm Niki. No, we're two separate people. Love her very much though. All right. And I would stand by the things because it's work. She explained to me what is what, that it's all a show, it's work, and there's a limit to things. And a whole bunch of stuff. I met her in person and she told me and she spoke to me about one of which she said I was a lucky, lucky girl and, try not to mess things up and whatnot because all of them knew the value of things there and that was the place that I was going. I took a step back to finish my degree because in my Caribbean island, these girls were following and I wanted them to finish school, get a job, and then make sure they're okay and then leave with mine because to whom much is given, much is expected. And being a caveat for this country, I have to think of the people in it. All right. But when I came back, other people had different ideas. That's when they started drugging us, and that's when they raped Marshall, and there's a string of children for him after this and whatnot. So just mess up this fairy tale ending and put themselves in between. They got up the ladder and killed my biological, artificially inseminated son who invented the cure for HIV and cancer. Up to now, I can't get over that. Why would you kill somebody who is so prominent? He was not rich, but he spent a lot of time and money educating himself to help such poor people. And now I'm seeing some of them don't deserve to be helped. So I'm making it clear, Nicki Minaj, Onika Tanya Maraj has no relations, as far as I know, with Lawrence Maharaj, the man who bought the pornographic picture and I was told was distributing it in local Trinidad. All right, and Tobago, because Mr. A&R Robinson had gotten a copy of it as well. He was telling people that that's the kind of girls they were helping and whatnot and making it look bad. When Mr. A&R Robinson told him that he is the one who is doing something illegal because he did not report a crime that was being committed on a minor. So there's layers of stories on that, and I can tell you, which is why Mr. A&R Robinson was working on a policy just before he died that children who were abused in their childhood days or hurt or attacked could come forward in their adult life and go to court with these testimonies and be given justice. All right. Now, a lot of people may want to hurt Nikki or take away her blessings or take away what was given to her, what's supposed to be for her, thinking they are punishing Lawrence Maharaj for his dirty crimes or thinking she's coming from that she doesn't have to have a lot of money to go into a higher bracket to be among these rich people and their children because she's not coming from good class. All right. So I'm making it clear that she didn't do that. She's against child pornography and all of that. Big girls only. All right. And a lot of other things we had a discussion about because people were lying and stating I was in child pornography and wanted to sell even my little sister and cousin and whatnot. So these people were getting involved and trying to find out if it was really so and all of these things. It was layers of humiliation throughout because people didn't quite understand the past stories that were a few but dispersed along my lifeline, and then that what led up to my current situation and what current situation I was in, my immediate situation. So there were layers of repeating. So it was like layers of the same acts in different forms being repeated because I told you in my teenage years, people took pictures of me and it ended up in the tabloids in America and in the UK. And the company was sued for distributing pictures of a minor, pornographic pictures of a minor. All right. So what happened in my childhood played off again in my late teenage years and in my adult years when I got married and had to distribute pictures and videos of our consummation to prove we were married because they were saying I wasn't married and it was a hoax, it was a joke. So to get our business wheel rolling, we had to prove to them that yes, so the marriage certificate wasn't enough. The video of the wedding wasn't enough. The priest and my father's presence wasn't enough. So we showed them images of the consummation. All right. And I'm not sorry. Now, these things that I'm coming forward with is to make sure and clear her. All right. Because I don't want people hurting her in any way for something that she didn't do. I know what it is like to be hurt. I was hurt for Jennifer. I found out my twin sister's real name is Jennifer, and I'm Josanne. So when we gave initials J and whatnot, a lot of people would have attacked Jennifer thinking that I was her and would attack her thinking she was me, that sort of thing, because they mixed up our life pathway and plans and families and friends and everything. And to blame the wrong way and everything. So when I was younger, Justin Timberlake was asked to sign me. I was given the offer to work on Sesame Street, Bonnie and Friends, or that Binya Pollywood, right? Those three. And I turned it down. So people stated if they had pictures of me like that out there, it's going to be difficult to, bring me up the ladder or something. Because for them in their country, you can't have that kind of stain if you want to be involved in politics. Contrary, the Caribbean, because of our carnival nature and our Caribbean nature, it's not like that for us here. But in their country, that is what it was like. And then that time, I was falling in love with a budding person who was going to be a senator. So they wanted me to get married to him. And he was very, very nice, a very young, promising young man. I haven't spoken to him in years. I don't know what has happened with his life, but they wanted me to get married to him, and he's an American. So they stated being an American, you couldn't have that sort of stain and stigma to your name. So they told Justin to sign me, right, to get me involved with his friends and introduce me to them and sign me up to be a singer. And when Justin saw me singing one day in my country in a competition that was hosted in my nation's capital, he came up and he stated that he wasn't going to allow me to sing because I could be much more, and he wanted me to marry well. He said if I got married and from there I decided I want to enter show business or whatnot, they would do it in a very classy and tasteful way that wouldn't bring shame to my family. All right? Because given who my father is and my grandparents were, it would have been very distasteful if not marketed properly. That's why they had me secluded in everything that we did. I was absolutely secluded from being shown, but included in lyrics, choreography, little simple things that made me a part of it to a certain degree and which got me paid. Monies that I never received in my hand, but nonetheless it brought in an income. Now, with respect to the things we did. That's why the music and what we did couldn't be involved with too much nakedness or curse words, all of these things, because it was one of the standards at which I asked for. All right, because I couldn't go to church and praise God with those things, right, in mind. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because my nickname, like I said, is Tanya. And they wanted to sign me on. And I have no disrespect with Niki, right? She's in show business and whatnot. And that was once upon a time a pathway that they were trying to develop for me, given the naked pictures and I wouldn't say naked, I didn't see it. I don't know how much of it was naked, but the inappropriate pictures that was put on the tabloids. All right? These pictures were put on the tabloids and they wanted to do some damage control, so to speak. So I gave them the nickname Tanya. My name is Tanya. Here, call me Tanya. They asked Tanya Stevens, and I'm like, no, Tanya Stevens is a Jamaican artist. Just call me Tanya, just Tanya. And I set up everything, and when it was time, I didn't show up. So somebody asked that, they give the role because people paid for it already and whatnot. So I'm not reproaching in any way, but I'm clearing that up because some of these investors may think I owe them money because it was me they saw and they thought it was me that they invested into for that role. So I never took it, even though I said, well, yes, we can, this field, this area, this genre, this whatever, this image, whatever. I didn't fulfill it, right? But Nicki Minaj did, and it's her hard work. It's her, she went away, she did, climbed up the ladder, she did the work. It's all on her with that respect, in respect to that, right? I have no disrespect with her. Yes, I know about her work with Marshall and whatnot because they're colleagues. And I was fully aware of it. And she met me in Trinidad and we spoke several times, different locations. We just happened to meet up and we spoke about it. And I had no problem with it. She had no problem with me either. We were just normal and we understood each other very well. All right, very, very well. I didn't go in her way, interfere with her job. She didn't come into my family life and interfere with my family or anything like that. And she was actually giving me advice on, keep this is a keeper. Keep it. This is a good thing you have here, So I appreciate the honesty and for her kindness towards me at a time in my life when I was very vulnerable and really needed a friend that I didn't have nearby because most of my girlfriends couldn't climb the ladder in that area. She filled that spot for that short time. And this is my way of saying thank you by setting the record straight. All right. So Nicki Minaj, as in Onika Tanya Maraj, is not responsible for what Lawrence Maharaj did. All right. And she shouldn't be punished or she shouldn't be stalked to be humiliated because of what a man did to me or with my images as a child. All right. She's a separate person from him. She's a separate entity. She has her own things going and she has principles and standards to what she does in spite of how it may look to the public. When you get to see behind the scenes, there are standards. Just as I have standards when we do our carnival thing, they have standards when they do their jobs as well. All right. So I'm making that clear and I'm putting this out there so people would know exactly who is who, what is what, so they don't go around dissing and hurting and humiliating and stealing from people that aren't associated with them or their family who had nothing to do with their past lives and why they went down a bad pathway. All right. So thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.